Hello everybody and welcome back to Memoriapolis, where last episode we headed into the Renaissance era. Now this is going to be 2400 cycles long, and I have a sneaking suspicion that the game is going to end before we get to Age of Enlightenment. I don't think that that's implemented yet, so we will see. But obviously our faction power went all the way back to here? This is very different. I just started up the game. Maybe this needs to be reloaded. We'll see. So we have some buildings allegedly running out of resources. That is this mine out over here. Yes, we know that. This mine as well. Yes, we know that. And what do we got over here? That's this cutting camp. Yes, we know that as well. We're just not demolishing these because it costs too much. We could definitely do it, but why? That's the big question there. So we're going to say no to that for now, and we're very, very interested in getting all of these repaired, right? No doubt about that, and we're also interested in getting some of these constructions done. Now, we have managed to build this, which is good, because we need to build up our political power up over here, and we'll wait for faction demands for more of those. We know we're going to be net negative on workers, most likely, so that is fine for now. And we'll get these restored, and then we will get the... We'll get the upgrades, or rather, we'll get these resumed at that point. So that's, of course, hurting our satisfactions, but that's fine. So stone, huh? We need a lot of stone. That needed some sand there. That needs some wood, understandable. Lots and lots of stone I'm seeing here. So to that end, we could definitely think about upgrading our quarry here and producing more stone. So that seems reasonably fine. I'm going to get that going. And what other quarries do we have here? So we can see we have small quarry 1. Or small quarry 2. That's just this quarry. I think that's the only quarry we have on stone right now. So we might want to do something about that. We might want to get ourselves a couple of additional quarries. So that would end up meaning somewhere potentially like up over here? Might be an interesting place to put one. Alternatively, we've got like this area here. That's not an amazing spot, is it? But what about over here? Ooh, this is potentially quite good. This is considered rocky area up here. But we could put it here. That would be worth about 5,000. And let's get that going. So that's going to be on quarrying stone. That'll be fine. And I think one more. So we're going to need a lot of stone. So let's get one more of those going. And we're quarrying sand down over here. And we were intending to quarry more sand here. For the time being, this is relatively fine. But let's get one more small quarry going. And I'm definitely thinking like up over... That's not amazing, is it? This area is mostly pre-quarried. This would be an interesting spot if we could find a non-rocky area to build it in. No doubt about that. Wondering about, like, up over here, hypothetically. Obviously, we're not quite big enough, but it's not amazing. Okay, so in that case, I'm thinking maybe somewhere, like, also over here. Maybe down this direction. I mean, we've already quarried a bunch of the stone down here, right? So we've got about 1,200 available up over this way. We really need a lot more. So up over here, perhaps, there's some, for sure. We need to remember that the radius will increase as we upgrade it, right? So that is absolutely understood. And this is a quarry here. Currently, this has actually availability of stone. It's currently doing sand. I'm going to upgrade this to a level 3 quarry, and we're going to call that good for now. Once we get all of the sand out of this, then we're going to switch this to stone, and look at that. That's actually ridiculous how much stone there is in that. Okay, so this is then going to be 25,000 stone. This is going to be currently 5,000 stone, but we're going to want to take that up to a level 3. Ah, here we go. Our faction is now requesting that we construct a bank. Okay, so this would need 500 stone. We don't have trade locked right now. Or unlocked, rather. There are no trade routes unlocked. That would cost us gold to unlock them, and I'm interested in one where we can buy like this. Okay, so let's unlock that. That's 2,100 gold. That'll be fine. And I want to buy in a fair amount of stone. I'm thinking like 200 might be a decent amount. Yeah, let's do that. So we're going to buy 200 stone there, and we still need more. That's understood. We're going to have these quarries finishing up soon. We do have one quarry currently being worked on. So that is noted. One quarry is currently working. Where is that quarry that's working on stone right now? Huh. Let's take a quick peek here. I'm going to zoom out, and we're going to highlight this. Is that this quarry? It's this one. Okay. Let's get that upgraded as well. I want all of these up to level 3, which is fairly significant, right? This is going to be 250 wood. Okay, we need to wait on that. So that's understood. And, conquistadores. Yes, we accept that. So that seems great. And we'll build this, assuming that we get the stone that we need. So this quarry is a level 3. We don't need to upgrade that any further right now. 300, so 375. And 60 workers. Okay, noted. So that seems okay for now. This is now a level 3 quarry, and we're quarrying relatively quickly-ish. Now, this one is working on sand. I want to swap that over to stone. We have this quarry down here for sand. So that'll be fine for now, and we can upgrade this later. For the moment, this seems okay. So for the bank, we're going to need 500 stone and 625 gold. Okay, we have 20 cycles. So we're gaining 25 per cycle. We're going to have enough stone, I'm quite certain. The question now is gold. We're gaining 5 per cycle. We're not going to get enough there. So we have a small mine out over here. We could upgrade that theoretically, but that requires stone. I would be interested in potentially doing a trade for gold. But we don't have enough money to unlock any of this. So there's this here. That's understood for now. We've got 20 cycles. Let's give it a bit. So this trade route will be back in 7 cycles, 6 cycles, and we're going to sell them some things. So for now, that seems fine. This quarry is quarrying away, 35 per cycle. Looks great. So we're making large amounts of stone at this point, and fairly large amounts of wood as well. So that looks okay for the moment. We're going to return back here. There we go. And now what we're potentially interested in is unlocking Antwerpen. But in order to do that, we're going to need to sell them some goods. I'm going to sell them 200 bricks if they can buy that. That's 1,600. Okay. And then I'm going to sell them like 30 wooden beams. I mean, I don't really want to sell that much clay. We can do something like this. That would be 3,000. So we can do that, and then we can unlock this route. That's most of that gold. So at this point, if we wanted to buy in what we needed for the bank, we need 625, so that's basically... It's basically 200 gold, right? So if we wanted to buy 200 gold, what would that cost us? 960? Actually, we can definitely make that happen. We can trade like 250 cut stones for that, and this would be a net positive trade for us. Consider it done. So that looks good. And now, what do we need? Well, we need a couple more gold. So that seems good. We'll let this tick forward for a little bit. We need a grand total of 625. And we're at 612. So we'll definitely have enough to build this bank. So we're at 617 now. 622 and 627. So now we're going to build this bank, and I'm going to put it up like over here. This is quite large, but we'll just put it in over this direction. Distance from trade routes and trading posts, minus 5%. Interesting know-how. Oh, I wanted to mention, after last episode, I was looking at the know-how, and I activated Inner Wealth here because this increases our minimum and maximum migration. I wanted to point that out. So we now have minimum and maximum migration by 1, twice at this point. So that is something that is happening. So that's absolutely something to note. So let's take a look through some of these and see what we can potentially repair. Okay, nothing there. No on that one. No. We're going to need a lot more stone for a lot of these. And that's understood. We're going to want to get these back online, but that's going to require a lot of resources. Okay. 981. Yeah, we need a lot of stone, a lot of sand. I'm actually thinking about coming down here and upgrading this quarry, so let's get that online. And this is currently quarrying stone, which is fine. It's a level 3 quarry. This is a small mine level 1, currently mining iron. If we were to upgrade this to a level 2, we would require additional stone for that. So that's understood. We're going to be out of iron for this fairly soon. I'm wondering, is this worth upgrading? Honestly, there's not much more iron in this area. Although it does extend down this way. So, maybe. Is there any gold around that we could maybe harvest by expanding that? Yeah, potentially. I'm going to hop into here. And we're going to go to the mine here. And we're going to grab this blueprint. Okay, that'll be fine for now. So I'm definitely interested in upgrading this mine and this mine. Both of those we're very, very interested in upgrading. This one, I think, is the bigger one. So that's going to cost a bunch of our stone. That's understood. We'll get that going. So if we check now, we can see, yeah, that's a whole lot more here. And that's taking this up to level 2. We're going to want to take it to level 3 eventually. So that seems fine for now. And we need 105 cut bricks here. Okay, we can wait on that. I'm not too worried about that. We're going to get plus 12 very soon. Yeah, that seems fine. So we have this small mine here and here. Are these worth upgrading? They're currently at production level 2. So let's see what we've got up over here. This would be gold and iron. No. These are not worth upgrading, so that's not going to happen. This cutting camp over here, of course, not really worth upgrading either. Building running out of resources. Okay, so that's this small quarry down over here. We ran out of clay. We can definitely transition this over to sand, which we're interested in doing. We can harvest some sand here. But now what we're going to need to do is get some clay here. Now, I'm wondering... Okay. That's definitely very interesting. I was wondering about maybe... I'm thinking maybe another quarry out over here to grab the clay that's down this way. So that would end up being something like this, right? So about here. We'll get that going, and that's, of course, going to be clay. So that seems fine, and this quarry is on sand for the moment, so that seems okay. Once it runs out of resources, we'll need to get rid of it. Cool. So we need to get all of these back online eventually. There's this cemetery here, and that's much more expensive. So a lot of this stuff over here is going to be more expensive to get that repaired, and that's understood. This we need raw resources for, right? We need lots of stone. We need lots of sand. So we'll get those online. This is currently a small quarry, level 2, and it would be gold to take it to a level 3. Okay. We can also put in a, not a brickwork, we can also put in a small quarry down here, which will generate large amounts of sand. So I see about 9,000 here. Excellent. We'll put that in there. And we'll get that upgraded as well. So that seems fine for now. And there's our trade route coming back. Looks good. Excellent. So we're going to be finishing these up, but we're going to upgrade these to level 2. Actually, maybe even to level 3. We'll see. So this is going to go to level 2 immediately. And then this one is also going to go to level 2, but we're lacking the sand right now. We are gaining sand, so we'll have that soon. Looks good. Once we feel like we're in a good position for our resource incomes, then that'll be absolutely fine. Now, do we have any cultural buildings that we can build at this moment? The answer is no. There's a lot of this that we still need resources for, and that's understood. We're going to be waiting for the 50% cheaper reductions. That's 100% what we're going to be doing with the cultural buildings, at least for now. We're interested in getting all of this back online, right? And we might be able to get some of this going at this point. Needing sand here. That needs sand. This we can repair, though. And we'll get that underway. So that looks good. Ah, an academy. Okay, so this is 50% cheaper because they're requesting it, right? So we need some stone, and we need iron. So iron is currently being produced very slowly, 6 per cycle. So 300 iron is going to be quite a bit. We need basically 150 iron. The stone is not too bad. So if we bought, say, 100 iron, I think we'd be relatively okay. I'm going to buy like 120, I think. That's just regular steel. So if we bought 120 iron, that would be 612 gold. Done. So that looks good. And now we're at 250 iron. We need, well, 260. We need 300 total iron, right? The stone is going to be the thing that we're a little bit short on, but we definitely want to get this academy going here. So that will be wonderful. So down over this direction, this is a level 2 quarry. Taking that up to a level 3 would cost gold, so I don't really want to do that. I want to take this up to a level 2 quarry, though. So that'll be fine. Level 2 quarries are acceptable for the moment. And then this is finishing up, so we should resume it. Perfect. That'll be fine for now. So at this point, what we need to do is we need to get this academy built as soon as we can. We're just lacking iron at this point, and we'll have enough in the next couple of cycles here. So that looks great. We're at 295, and we need 300. Wonderful. So we can put that up. I'm going to put that over, like, over here, I think, for the moment. I'm just thinking about how our roads are set up right now. So we're going to put this right here. Creativity needed for 100 residents, minus 10. That's pretty neat. Okay, so we're going to gain creativity here, and it looks like we need belonging more than anything else, so we're going to grab that. Beautiful. So that looks fine for now, and we're going to work on building up some of our lower level resources here, because we do want to get some of these other structures repaired, right? We need a lot of stone for this one. Stone, although that's pretty close. Stone and sand. Stone. 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 Yeah, we need large amounts of stone to get this all done. That was stone and sand there, and stone and sand. And then out over here, it starts to get a little bit more expensive, but we're definitely making good progress on that. So this looks fine for now. We're definitely going to get this all back online. And you can see that we're slowly draining workers, which is to be expected. This is absolutely what we wanted to see here. Faction installation? Ah, the blood of the Habsburgs. Yes, this is fine. Okay, excellent. So things are looking fairly okay here. We don't have access. Oh, we do have access for a rampart around the Renaissance City Center, but I don't think there's a reason yet. We've barely got any districts here, right? And down over here, do we have any districts? I don't think so. We're just mostly, there's a cutting camp here, right? We should actually consider upgrading this to a cutting camp 2. So I'm going to do that. Excellent. That will be fine for right now. So we're at 365. Okay, now we're at 400 stone. That looks relatively solid. We do definitely want to get these repaired. Where's one where we only need stone? 841 stone? That's a lot of stone. 562? This one we can repair right now. So let's get that going. That will be wonderful. We'll just slowly get these resources in. Our priority is going to be on fulfilling the requests and getting our Renaissance buildings built via requests because they're 50% cheaper, right? That's huge. That's absolutely huge. So that will remain our priority for right now. And how are we doing in here at this juncture? Building points are about on par. Population satisfactions are on par. Faction power is lagging very far behind for some reason. This is probably because all of these buildings are paused, is my guess. Yeah, that's probably what we've got going on there. So 7 to 10 migration cycle, that's not bad. If we check up over here, what do we need to upgrade this? 675 gold. We might want to consider building another gold mine somewhere. So let's think about that. So that would be a small mine. And where would we be interested in putting that? Well, there's some gold down over here, apparently. That's interesting. That would be largely covered by this small mine. Okay, so we're going to focus on that. That'll be absolutely fine. We would love to be getting a little bit more gold. So yeah, right down over here seems like a good place for that. And we're probably going to at least bring this up to a level 2. What would that cost for this small mine to level 2? 450 stone. Okay, for now, I'm just going to leave it at level 1. That's still going to double our gold income, so that's absolutely fine. That'll be good. So with more gold on the way in, that will be wonderful. What is our population requirement for this? 9,500? Okay, we're pretty over our population requirement. So we should actually consider buying the gold at this point. That'd be like 400 gold. That'd be like 2,000 gold. We could definitely do that. I'm going to absolutely do that. So we're going to trade for that gold, and that puts us at 665, and so we only need a couple more pieces of gold, right? That'll be ready very, very shortly. Right about next cycle. There we go. Do it. So that gets our Renaissance City Center upgrading. And we're at 580 stone. That might be enough to get some of these upgraded. In fact, here we go. That'll work. And this guy is repaired, so we can get that activated. That looks great. So we'll get some more of these going. Ah, the Saruz and Talcum stall. That's this guy. So for that, we're going to need a little bit of wood and a little bit of sand, which is fine. We're going to have that very, very soon. So we need 500 sand for that. Yeah, we're very, very close to being able to build this. So we're absolutely interested in doing this ASAP. So that's going to end up going probably up over here, would be my guess. Okay, just looking at the size of it, yeah, I'm thinking somewhere around here. Or so. Looks good. So this is going to give us health, and we are most interested actually in creativity as a secondary. So we'll get that going. Beautiful. So that looks good for now. We now have access to production buildings, charcoal kiln, and heating. Okay. We should get at least some of that production going ASAP. So that's going to be the heating here. We'll get a level 1 of these, so that's fine. It's going to need some iron, some bricks. This is going to need some sand. Okay. So new here, we can build a charcoal kiln right now. That's going to go in our production area. So somewhere out over this direction. This actually looks good, right where it is. So we'll get that going. That's going to take 50 workers, and we're low on workers right now. That's understood. We're also going to want to restore this, or rather resume this, very soon. So a charcoal kiln here is absolutely okay. We'll get the charcoals going, and we'll at least have a small amount of flow of those. And then we're also interested in building a heating. For that, we'll need 500 sand. Now, we're producing 24 per cycle, so we should have that pretty soon. That's also going to be 50 workers, which is pretty significant. No doubt about that. We're 50... Actually, we're gaining workers quite quickly. We're up to 40 at this point, so that's looking pretty decent. We definitely want to get this all brought back up, though. No doubt about that. But we're going to need some extra sand. Do we want to trade for it? Well, it wouldn't be either of these. We would need, like, here. Okay. That's noted. So we would need some gold for that. That's fine. We'll get there soon enough. What is our next population threshold? 11,000. So we can actually do this. Noted. We need a few bricks. We need some wooden beams. That's all fine. We need some iron, which that we're a ways away on. And then we need clay, which we're working on it, and stone, which we're working on that too. Building is running out of resources, and that is this cutting camp. Okay, I'm going to pause that. What would it cost to demolish? Not worth it. Okay, so we're not going to do that for now. But what we can do is we can replace this cutting camp elsewhere. And that is probably going to end up being where? Out here, perhaps? Yeah, let's get that going. So what level of cutting camp is this one? This is a level 2. Not a big deal. So that seems fine for now. And we definitely do want to get the heating online here very, very soon. So we have the workers for that. All we need is a little bit more sand. We should have that on this next cycle. Hello. Yes, this is acceptable. Okay, so we can now build this heating, and that's going to go somewhere over here. Something kind of like this, although that's apparently on a building. I think it's on this district. So if we just put it in like this, that'll be fine. Okay, so that looks okay. And we'll get that going. So now we're going to have some lime coming in. We've got some charcoal coming in. That looks great. I want to come up over this direction. This cutting camp needs to be brought up to a level 2 immediately. So we're going to do that. There's only so many resources here. That's understood. And we'll push back over this direction if we need to. But for now, that seems fine. Okay, so for this next upgrade, what do we need? This is something we need to be thinking about here. So stone, clay, iron, and wooden beams. The wooden beams will get fairly soon. 16 per 5 cycles, that's not too bad. The iron is going to be a little rough. We may want to start thinking about another small mine specifically for iron. There's iron out over this way. I don't suppose we can fit this in here, because there's a lot of iron in here. The answer is no. Okay, I'm not shocked about that. What about out over this direction? There's some iron up here. Do it. So we're going to get that online. That will be absolutely wonderful. Okay, and with that, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to keep working on getting these repaired eventually, and we're going to continue to work on getting our resource production up, because that clearly needs to happen. We've got some work that we need to do on getting this all online, and we need to get a bunch of iron. That's very obvious. I do want to get this upgrading, but I will say that you can leave your offerings to the engagement gods. There we go. I got minorly distracted by this almost finishing. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.